Ollie Rufix was one of only 3 people in the world to be diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia. His only chance of survival lay in a bone marrow transplant from someone who shared the same tissue type. Luckily, a donor was found.
Now, 5 years on, not only is he in remission, but he's just sailed around the coast of Britain solo. He's done it to encourage more people to become bone marrow donors. We spoke to Ollie on this programme before he set off. Now he's back. Tell us about the trip. How are you?
It's been fantastic. Yeah, it's been brilliant. I turned up yesterday, and it was a whole mixture of emotion when I was coming down the Thames there, followed by the London Met Marine Division and the RLNI too. It was just a really fantastic experience, yeah.
I think we can see some of the pictures of your arrival. This is only yesterday, wasn't it? And I imagine after quite a lot, it's a very... First thing I'm thinking is, that's a very small boat to spend a lot of time on.
Yeah, it's a bit small. To be honest with you, the biggest part of the challenge, I think, for me was living in such a small area for such a long period of time.
You have to be very organised, I imagine, in there, to keep it tidy, otherwise it could just be chaos.
Yeah, I soon learned what I need and what I don't, so chucked everything where I didn't. And so it's just really very basic down there, and it very quickly becomes a mess, so you really got to keep on top of it all.
Was it lonely?
There were parts of it that were lonely, yeah. But, yeah, I quite enjoyed it because, you know, you turn up into a marina and loads of people come down, look at the boat, they want to hear the story. But then when I'm out there sailing, that's my time to relax and get away from all that hassle. So, you know, brilliant overall, really good.
And the
experience.
reason, Ollie, you did the trip is to get people's attention on the idea of organ donation. And for so many people, it's kind of an academic thing. I think in principle, yes, of course, it's a wonderful thing, but maybe don't do anything. And you had, I mean, you had to have a bone marrow transplant.
Yeah.
And you got to meet your donor, didn't you?
Yeah, I met him last year, and another just totally random, really weird experience because, you know, when I was ill, I can remember this bag of bone marrow just dripping into me and just wondering, who is this guy? What, you know, what's he like? Where does he live? And so to actually meet him was fantastic.
This was the moment here?
Yeah, wow, that brings back some memories, yeah.
And what were his reasons that he gave for being a donor?
It was nothing to do with my story. There was one of his... a local friend or someone locally to him was then terminal, I think, or during this big bone marrow drive where he lived. And he just joined because of that, because he wanted to help. And then, well, I think it was about 15 years later, I came along and he was called up. You know, he's one of only 2 in the world.
And the idea now of what you're doing, and I know you're going to be doing other events as well, is about just getting people thinking about the issue and taking it more seriously. I mean, there is still a problem with people signing up, isn't there?
Yeah, it's really, really hard. Well, especially from this trip, I've learned that it's really hard to try and get younger males, especially males, on the register.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I think because a lot of people, and I presume when I was 20, I maybe thought the same. It's probably not going to happen to me, so why bother type thing. And I've come across that quite a lot. So it's very hard to get to the emotional side of the person and actually make them think about what they can, what the outcome is.
We've got 10 seconds. What's next for you? Next
is, well, from Southampton Boat Show, Suzuki and RibQuest are going to come together and build this rib. I'm going to go around the country again in 2013 and hopefully take other patients with me, other survivors like myself and their siblings, and maybe get involved with Teenage Cancer Trust and the RLNI, hopefully.
Good for you. Good stuff,
Nice
Ollie.
to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Many thanks.
Glad to see you.